I am the least athletic person you have ever met in your life. And I taught myself how to do a split. I've never taken dance lessons. I did gymnastics for a couple months when I was 12 and was the worst person in the building, for sure. I did cross country for a year just so my parents wouldn't make me take orchestra. And I was consistently not only the last person on the team, but the last person in the entire 300 person races. Yep. Last place. But as I've gotten older, I realized that I have a thing that makes me constantly want to push myself really hard for no reason at all. I started donating blood just for fun. I did NaNoWriMo last year, which is National Novel Writing Month, when you write 50,000 words in a month. I am not a novel writer, don't ever intend to be, and I just decided to think of an idea and write 50,000 words of it in November for no reason, and I'll never show anyone that manuscript. Yeah, I don't know why I tortured myself that way. Maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment, but maybe I have this sense that if I can make myself do those really hard, time-consuming, seemingly fruitless things, then I can get through just about anything. So a week after Halloween, I decided that I wanted to do a split. I just always thought people who could do splits were really cool. I don't know, I knew a couple dancers in my life, and the fact that they could just casually just slide into one whenever they wanted to, it was like the best party trick I'd ever seen in my life. And I decided that I was gonna be one of those people who could do that party trick. So, without any training or any physiological understanding, I set out to try to do a split. I watched a BuzzFeed video where people learn how to do a split in 2 weeks and thought that I could be one of those people. I was very wrong. Not only is my body just not really made for any flexible things in any capacity, but I also didn't actually understand the right stretches I was supposed to be doing. For the first couple weeks of working on it, I was kind of doing things that weren't affecting my body at all and making no real progress. Maybe if I would have been doing the same stretches the whole time, my journey would have been shorter or better or different. But I was kind of learning along the way what I was supposed to be doing. So I just watched a bunch of videos of people doing split stretches and tried to copy what they were doing, but didn't understand how it was helping me in any way. Then I found out from a friend who's a dancer that hip flexibility is really freaking important. I have very naturally inflexible hips. I've never been able to sit crisscross applesauce comfortably. I've never been able to do the butterfly and push my knees all the way down to the ground. Still can't do that, actually. But I started trying really, really hard. I wanted to be able to do a split by Thanksgiving. And when that didn't happen, I wanted to be able to do a split by Christmas. When I first started working on it, I was only doing my right leg. I wasn't trying to do a split with my left leg in any way. All my hamstring stretches and hip flexor stretches were so that I could do a split with my right leg forward. Then, around late November, something really bad happened. My right hamstring started hurting a lot. For about a week, it was to the point where when I would sit down in a chair, I had to sit in a different position because pressing any pressure against the back of my leg where my hamstring was really hurt. It felt like there was a knot in there, like something had torn. So I kind of had to just lay low and not do splits for a while. And so then I decided I would just do my left leg. I would just focus solely on my left leg. So I basically only did left leg splits from November to around early December, when people started stressing to me the fact that I needed to be even on both sides of my body and I needed to make sure that I was actually doing both splits really bad all the time. And I'm scared that I'm gonna have to not do it for a while, but I feel like I can push myself farther than I think, but it still just hurts really bad, and maybe I shouldn't. But this is my right leg. Wait. Okay, that's bad. All of Christmas break, I worked so hard. My full splits regimen took 2.5 hours maybe. And part of that was procrastination. Part of that was the fact that I would try to do splits until I started crying. I could just imagine the way it would feel for my leg to be pressed against the ground no matter what I did. It just would not happen. I was 2 full months in and I felt like a loser. I was doing everything people were telling me to do from the videos, from my actual dancer friends, and nothing was changing. I was constantly mad at myself and frustrated at my body. I'm in a lot of pain and I feel super frustrated all the time that I'm not lower than I am. This is my right leg. And this is my left leg. Along with this, I talked about it all the time, and so my friends were always really irritated with me because they were really tired of hearing about it. Sorry, friends. Over Christmas break, my full regimen was running on the elliptical for about 6 or 7 minutes. A thing that I didn't do for a month. I just stretched on cold muscles for a month. Yep. Something you should not do. And I would do my hamstring stretches, which were always the worst. I would feel nauseous, I would be out of breath. It would just be the most painful, horrible thing ever that I just had to get out of the way every time. For months, it never got easier. Then I would do hip exercises. Then I would pull my leg up onto a dresser for 30 seconds or something like that. And then I would do my hip flexor exercises. Anyway, it always just took a really long time and hurt a lot. And then when I actually got into doing the actual splits, that would hurt a lot. A couple days before Christmas, I was still holding out hope, but I knew in my heart it wasn't gonna happen. I want to, on Christmas Day, be able to walk downstairs, be with my family, and do a split. I said at the latest, like at the end of Christmas break. And then Christmas came, and a couple days after Christmas came, and I still could not do a split. I constantly have bruises on my knees from pressing them so hard into the floor, and my hamstrings were always a little bit sore, and I was always just like really irritated. When I got back to school in January, I realized that I was in it for the long haul. This was gonna be my junior year of college thing. It wasn't just gonna be something I gave up on, and so I decided that I was okay, that it was gonna take a longer time than I thought. And right when I got into that mindset, right when I was okay with the fact that it was gonna take longer than I wanted it to, that's when my body just gave in. There was still some frustrating streaks where I felt like I wasn't making any progress for another month.
That's basically a split.
Hey guys, here's my split today. I'm gonna try to push my leg all the way down. Push your body down. But then I eventually just got to a point where I was like, yeah, by most people's standards, this is just what a split is. I'm doing it. Is this a split? Looking back at my progress is insane. I can't believe that there was actually time where I could push my body as hard as I could and my knee was just bent on the ground, and that's as low as I could go. Moral of the story is you can do a lot of things that seem impossible. And the only thing that will kill your ability to do those things is not people telling you to stop, because people did tell me to stop. And it's not your own physical ability or your willpower, but it's being angry at yourself for the natural pace of your progress. If you give yourself grace, you understand that anything that's gonna be hard to do is gonna take a long ass time, dude. If you're okay with yourself during that process, it will happen. You will get there. Maybe I'll forget about it and lose the ability to do split in a couple months, which would really suck. I really hope that that doesn't happen. But even if I do, I've learned so much from this process. But mainly I've just learned that waiting for progress and growth and waiting to get to where you want to be, that long process is never easy, but it's always possible. Give yourself grace and don't stake your self-worth in anything you do. But take the hard and long-suffering things you do as a lesson to remind you that change and growth in any area of your life is always possible. If I can do this, what can you do?